Welcome to the Dyson's Effect.
A show about everyday situations, issues, and topics we talk about and give our opinions.
We may even listen to yours.
We are your hosts, Johnny,
And Teresa.
also known as Mr. and Mrs. Dyson.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny,
And this is Teresa.
and this is another episode of the
Dyson's Effect.
Hey, Sean, I am hot. You ain't hot?
No,
Maybe because you got that red lipstick on, got me all sweating, got me looking all at you and shit. Titties popping out of your turtleneck, but man, I am sweating. I'm gonna turn the heat down or something. I'm getting all hot and bothered sitting up them glasses on and lipstick on. Is your lipstick popping? Yeah.
I do like it.
You like it? What type of lipstick is that?
It's I think a matte lips cream or lip stain from Sephora. I actually seen it on somebody on my Instagram, and I asked her what it was, and she told me, and I went and bought it yesterday.
Who was that someone was describing you to someone? They was like, the one that wear the red lipstick. Somebody was saying that you want the one that wear the red lipstick. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, her, because you got somebody was saying something about you. You don't remember? Mm-hmm. It'll come to you later. But just painting in on it. If somebody was saying something about you, and they was talking about two other people, and they described they knowing you as the one to wear the red lipstick all the time. See, I listen. See that? See, I listen. See that? See, I listen. Don't ever say I don't listen. But how was your week?
It was good. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. The weekend which would be Valentine's Day weekend, right? Past weekend. It was cool.
Yeah.
Busy as always,
Always
trying
busy.
to get things done and figuring out what's next and how to do this, how to do that. So it was cool. How was yours?
Mine was exquisite. Getting a lot of stuff done for my business. Trying to do a lot of stuff for our relationship coaching. We've been getting a lot of requests from being that people listen to us all over the world. We have people listening to us in Africa, Pakistan now, the UK, Canada, all over the world. Being that everyone listens to us, they're also asking questions about our relationship coaching. So we are trying to expound on it in different ways to give opportunities to coach different people no matter what aspect to what they're having, what other issues they're having or dealing with, going through, struggling with. And I'm trying to grow on another way we can meet people all over the world. And also I also want to expand our outreach within that process, as I said before. So I want us to grow in other countries. I see a vision for us growing in other countries. I see a vision for us going to Africa, doing a lot of things for the needy there. And I don't want to call it needy, but doing a lot of the things for the people there that need it. And maybe can be a bridge for other countries and for here as well. That makes sense. Like a bridge for other people to go out there and do it. A bridge to open up the conversations to go other places, because one of the other things that me and my homeboys was talking about. Ghana was one of the first places, or is one of the first places, that offers African Americans dual citizenship. They also just opened the gates of the free trade. So with those aspects, what are some things, even though it may not be our job, what is our job and what things we can do for Ghana and Africa as a whole through our relationship coaching.
Right.
You know, what things that we can do to help them as they're trying to help the world. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's not easy to be coming up with a different mind state, and I got to get on the journey to figure out the journey. But other than that, everything's been going good. 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 You do look good, though. You don't like it when I be complimenting you on the show?
I just have on a t-shirt.
All it take is a t-shirt, because you can take that motherfucker off just because you put it on. But, this is an issue. How do we even get here? You know how have you ever been with your friends and y'all get to talking about something, and then y'all get to talking about something else that is totally unrelatable, but then y'all just go so far on the deep end, and you be like, man, how do we even get here? Like, I remember one of my homeboys was talking about something, and we got to talking about stuff we ain't had no business talking about around men. Right. And then we was like, look, man. I think I had my limit of talking about this with y'all. Like, no, man. No. So, we got an issue that's been circulating for a while on social media. This has been going on probably about over a year, maybe. A while on social media about a topic that's been going on. Mm-hmm. I would like to play the audio for it, but I don't want to play anybody else's audio. Right. Because they get into those issues. So, you want to get a scenario?
So, it was the girl was going on a first date. And once her date arrived, she asked her date to take her to McDonald's to get her daughter some food. So he was like, yeah, that's fine. So he takes her to McDonald's, and they order the food, and they get to the window. And he looks at her like, where the money at?
Bread is shot.
So she, I guess, she had an issue with it, but at the same time says, oh, I had the money. But the issue was she expected this man that don't even know her to pay for her daughter's meal because he was, I guess, dating her.
This is the first date?
Yes,
This is the first date. So once he asked her for the money, he gave her the money. And so then what was her response?
So her response was in her head, oh, this nigga never get the pussy because he didn't buy her baby a Happy Meal.
So that's the scenario. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're going to put a posting on it for this topic. Mm-hmm. And the question is, should your first date, should the person be obligated to pay for your child's food?
Right.
Should they be obligated to buy your kids food?
Right.
Now, this can go many ways. This may not be good, but this can go many ways. But before we give out a conclusion on this, we also have grown up in troubling economic conditions. For the fans, it's called. We're from Benton Harbor. I'm pronouncing it correctly. We're from Benton Harbor, Michigan. It's right on the corner of Michigan, 30 minutes from South Bend, Indiana. Right in Barron County, and also right next to 15-20 minutes from Barron Springs, where Muhammad Ali used to live before he passed. So we understand when kids and people need to eat. First, let's talk about McDonald's. Was McDonald's a childhood meal for you? Like one of the things, like
that I would get?
Yeah, like what was your?
Since it was a lot of us, it was pizza, like Little Caesars. Little Caesars heavy.
That's when they used to come in that long
box, 2 or 3, yeah. So it used to be definitely Little Caesars. Now, if it's just me and my mom, then Burger King was our go-to.
You know your mom played favoritism, right? You know she played favoritism, right? She played favoritism.
But no, McDonald's really wasn't a childhood memory for me. Like, it was Burger King, Little Caesars.
So your mama could always...
And food at home.
So how often, just rough estimate,
Would I do those?
would y'all...
It would be the beginning of the month when she got her money.
So in the beginning of the month, y'all know what time it is. The Little Caesars kicking in. The Little Caesars. And that's when, is it just me? But wasn't Little Caesars good back then?
Yeah, it was.
Or was we just starving and hungry all the time?
Could have been that too. And then, your taste buds is different.
I remember Little Caesars used to be. When Daddy used to go get the Little Caesar shouted.
But before I stopped eating dairy, their veggie pizza
used to be fire.
Is really good.
Yeah, their veggie pizza used to be fire.
Because they have a veggie seasoning you can sprinkle on it. But
wait, what? That's what we can get. We ain't had no veggie seasoning in a while.
Veggie seasoning? Where we gonna get it from?
No, but remember we used to get it and put it on certain foods, like our vegetables and stuff. So we can go look for that too. But because we got to go to the store. But my childhood meal was McDonald's, and we used to get Little Caesars too. But the go-to was McDonald's. Now the reason why it was McDonald's is because, as I said before, Mama had us in threes, and my older sister didn't come around as much. But when she did come around, we were mostly cook at home for my older sister came around. But it would be McDonald's. All of us used to get a Happy Meal. All of us used to get the little toy that used to come out of there. All of us used to get the little the ride. The ride. So that was the thing. The story of the ride. Like, we can go get some McDonald's, y'all. Guess we finna eat some McDonald's. Like, that was like, man, we finna eat some McDonald's, man. Like, man, as horrible as McDonald's is, we was like, man, we finna get some McDonald's. So think about, even though this is about the couple that's going through this, I'm thinking outside of the box a little bit on the child that needs a meal.
And I'm sure the meal was only $2 or $3. I don't think they. Well, I don't know about now. But
yeah, now the Happy Meal probably like still $4 or something, and don't get no toy. Right.
But still, it wasn't that much. But I get where he's coming from, and maybe a little bit where she's coming from.
So where she's coming from is, first, this is gonna be something to chew on, but where is your baby as far as, is it a babysitter, older sibling?
Right. Like, why was your baby not fed, for one, before your date arrived?
Let's get very specific with that. Let's say the date started at 5, 6-ish, right?
All right. You still make sure your child is taken care. Even if you'd have fixed some food and told the babysitter, hey, this is prepared for when the baby is hungry, or when it's dinner time, or whichever, whatever. You make sure you always take care of your home and your kids before leaving to go out anywhere, whether it's on a date, whether it's to hang with friends, whether it's to work, whether it's on a trip. You always make sure that home is taken care of. You never wait until that person arrives to take care of your home.
Even on our date night that we have, on our date night, what we do is, hey, y'all eating pizza, we finna go out to eat here. We go get y'all pizza, or we go get y'all something to eat, whatever it is, American Deli, whatever it is, Chipotle, okay, and even if we gotta get it early,
right?
You know what I'm saying? We gonna get it early. Hey, it be in the oven. It'd be in the microwave, whatever it is, but we going to get that, and it's about us. We finna go get our food, cause then we ain't finna be tying up our food, going to get all that at the last minute and all that. Then we got to get dressed and all that. No, so prioritizing the time first.
Right. And who was watching the child that couldn't run to McDonald's to get the child some McDonald's?
Yeah.
If that's what you wanted your child to have. And then you always have Uber Eats and all that stuff, bring it to your front door. So nobody really has to go get it, in all actuality. So there's a lot of questions behind the reasoning of things was done. Was this date on a Friday and you got off work and you had to rush to get dressed for this date? And you know what I'm saying? That could be the situation too.
Great point.
So it's just a lot of, I guess,
Man, you pretty.
questions behind this Happy Meal date gone wrong, I guess.
Yeah, because, what if, let me throw a wrench in it. What if you told this child that they was getting something to eat and you done waited till the last minute and you couldn't go back on that promise? Right. You know how you, like I always tell you, don't tell them what you're going to do because we don't know what's going to happen. We just up and do it. Don't tell them we going on a vacation here and there because we don't know what's going to happen. Something might happen at the last minute. And we might get tied up, but things might not happen the way we want to, or it might not be as big as they want it to be. So, hey, it's gonna happen, and we just deal with it happen. Hey, surprise! We might tell you, hey, we buying y'all Chipotle Saturday. Well, Friday we might come up with a better idea.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't paying for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or we done got. Let's just say we done worked out and something. We like we ain't going nowhere today. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is.
So just in my mind, you expected this first date to pick you up for one.
That's one.
For two, take you to get your child some food, and then pay for it. So for me, just him agreeing to take you was enough.
That's enough.
It shouldn't have never been in your head that this man is going to pay for your child's food that he has never seen. Better yet, this is probably his first time seeing you. So, well, and some probably will say, oh, to a man, that's nothing. But the expectations of you expecting him to pay was something.
I want to get back to that. I know how some girls that don't allow men to know where they live at.
Right. So he was picking you up from your house.
Some women, that's a big deal for them. They don't let anybody come by their house, especially if they're single parent. Mm-hmm. It makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. If you're a single parent, you don't let every man know where you live at. Because
right,
what if this date don't work out? Like he gonna be like, oh yeah, I picked up old girl right there. That's where old girl live at. I'm like, I get that, and I know how some girls on a date they meet somewhere and have a friend like waiting in the back or something like that. Like I've heard of that. Like a friend be in there making sure everything all right, or a friend know, okay, that's who she going on a date with in case the dude crazy or some shit. Like I done heard of that. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing. So I don't want to overlook the kid in this situation because, you could be. It sounds like she may be a single parent. And the welfare of the child, is number one. Like, what else is in that house that the baby can't have? McDonald's. Can she cook?
Right.
Right. Can you whip up something? You know what I'm saying? Cook something. Then go get dressed.
And who's watching this child? The person that's watching this child that could not get the food or make the food, like, especially if it was a time thing, like the person that was watching this child couldn't do that favor for you, or you cash app or give them the cash to get the McDonald's. Like, I don't understand why it all fell down on the first date. And then to value yourself as low as a Happy Meal. Oh, I know he wasn't getting none because he.
Well, let's just start from there. As soon as that happened, if she was turned off, don't go on the date then.
Right.
Don't leave me on. Don't leave me on thinking it's something more than what it is, because and I also think men has to pay for the meal. So don't leave me on. I got to pay for this meal and you already turned off because I ain't do. Don't leave me on. It ain't working out. Soon as you done pay for that, and this ain't going nowhere based off that, or we weren't gonna have sex or whatever. Cool. Let me drop you off.
Right.
It's cool.
Because you haven't even gave me a chance. Like, you stopped at McDonald's. You have not gave me a chance to even try to see or try to get to know me or see what kind of person I am, or you You put up a red flag just because I wouldn't pay for your child's food. So.
And where do you live at? do you live in one of them bad neighborhoods? Corey Holcomb said that he knew where the date was gonna end up because where he dropped her off, she thought she was gonna let him. He was watch her go in the house. He said, "Shit, I know what neighborhood you live in. I was out of there. Shit, like what type of neighborhood you live in?" And he was probably like, "Oh, okay, sure." And so, a lot of time, men and women make their own beds in certain situations, right? So, what if you was in a good neighborhood? What if you was in a good neighborhood and you one of these women that cry for independence? Oh, I don't need a man to do this and this and this. That I'm a strong woman. I can do this and do that, this and that. So you made that bed when you decided to date me, because I could have a predisposition, as opposed to saying, "Oh, well, she probably want to pay for her own meal." So she can't say that. Oh, don't no man take care of my kids. I do everything for my. You know how people say that, right? So I got it. I take care of my own kids. You know how some people get offended if you want to do something like that. So what if she made that bed that he was like, oh, I already know what type of person she is. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go on and do that. Like, what if she was like that? So I mean. Before the words even come out of her mouth, like, I come pick you up. Let's paint the scene, babe. I come pick you up. You say, hey, could you want me to go get my baby something to eat? Now, does the man have the right to say no? Does the man have the right to say no?
It depends. Are we running behind? Do we have reservations? What city do we live in? How far do we got to go to get to this place? I mean, he does have the right to say no. It's his car. And at that point, she can choose whether she's going to continue with the date or go back in the house. So he's not obligated to do that. No, I don't feel that he's obligated to do that.
But but then if I say no, why you got an attitude? Because this is what I'm saying, because if I say no, don't have an attitude and don't hold it against me. But you more than likely a person would. But no, because you're going to put me in a situation like you just did.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to say no, because you ain't finna put me in between a money issue. Because a lot of people touch you when it comes to money, man. A lot of people, they get real funny when it comes to money and what, how much they got. And, a lot of men a lot of men don't like nobody knowing what's going on in their pockets. So if I said, no, I don't feel like doing that right now, you're like, oh, well, nah. So just think about it. Your baby ain't gonna eat then?
Right. Exactly. So
see what I'm saying? See how this goes? Like, your baby ain't gonna eat. So your baby eating is dependent upon me.
Right.
Like, no, because you ain't gonna put that pressure on me. Why put that pressure on somebody you don't even know?
Right.
I don't get it. Like, not before even if, take it off of this situation. What if your friends come over and y'all trying to go somewhere? What you gonna say? Run your vid? Like, no, don't put me in a situation like that. So, cause then that's how friends be like, she ain't really my friend no way. Cause I asked her to take somewhere to get my baby something to eat. She didn't. See what I'm saying? You know how people do that. I asked my homeboy to do this. He ain't do it, man. He ain't my boy like that. Why was that dependent upon him?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Same situation, just changed it up a little bit.
Right. Because if you knew a week ago you had this date, then you should have been better prepared and not, dependent upon someone else to feed your child. And then the same rate pay for it. Like, that was just, you should have automatically gave your money or your car. And if he would have been like, no, I got this, then that's a different thing. But the thing for me is you expected this man to pay for that Happy Meal. And a lot of people may disagree and be like, no, he shouldn't. No, he don't owe her anything. He barely know her. So why is he paying for her daughter or child food when he don't even probably know her last name? Like, no, he's not. No, he didn't have no obligation on doing that. He didn't pull up like, yeah, I know she gonna ask me to take her to get her daughter something to eat and I'm gonna pay for it. Like, this was all sprung on him last minute. So being a gentleman, he like, yeah, it's cool, I'll take you, but you're expecting me to pay for it? Like, no.
Even if it's not about how much it is.
No, it's not.
It's about, what do you say on front? It's the principle behind it.
It's the principle behind it.
It's the principle. Like, you gonna define me over me paying you $2?
Right. Because you thought, okay, he gonna take me. So for one, you just knew that he was gonna take you. That's one.
That's a bad one.
For two, you was like, oh, he gonna pay for it and take me on the date and pay for it.
You know how some women do that. Let's be honest.
So you have already put those thoughts and the expectations in your brain. And when it didn't go as planned, now you like, oh, I knew this nigga then wasn't never gonna get none of this. How did we go from that to that? Like, it doesn't even coincide. Like, and say, oh, I had the bread. Okay, so what was the issue? It shouldn't have even been an issue because this man don't even know you like that to be paying for you and your child some food.
Why? And so let's talk about the dude a little bit. How did she meet him?
Right.
Was he a flashy guy?
Right.
Because let's just say if he was flashy, gold, or something like that, on nice clothes.
Or a street guy.
So she just knew that he was gonna pay for it. So was that the image she put in her mind, and he just obliterated it all together? It's like, he just messed everything up of what her dream was of who he gonna be and who he is, and he got all this money, and this is just hypothetical. He got this, and he couldn't even give me $2 because how some men, not all, some men view things. If you asking for money in the beginning, it ain't gonna get no better.
Right.
I don't care if it is $2 because I know how some, just as you said, how some women be. Oh, he gonna pay for me and my daughter.
Right.
This was a joke I heard a female say. They'll go out on a date with a dude they don't like just to go eat. That's a whole conversation. And sometimes what girls do that I did not know this, and this is a conversation too. The dudes that they go on this date with that they don't like, they order food for their kids when they get home.
Yeah, to take with them.
So if you go to Olive Garden, Red Lobster, we get a meal, we had this and that. You, for one, you leave me on and think that we got something going on. Next, you order like three more meals to go, and he pay for it.
Right.
You order like 3 more. So why? There's girls that do that, man. It's girls that order food and
take home to their kids,
and they don't even like to do.
Right.
Like, that's a conversation.
And if I was that dude, I'd be like, oh, she wants those on separate bills.
Would that be wrong?
No.
Now, coming from a woman, coming from you, that's not wrong.
No, because you can't expect nobody to feed your kids. That's at home. Your kids should already be taken care of. Or if you want to order them some food, that is fine by any means, but ask for a separate ticket. Don't be that rude and that expectant of me to pay for you and your kid. Like, no, don't do that. I don't, especially if this is our first date and we barely know each other. Any date, like, unless we're married, that should not be allowed. Unless they're your kids, I guess, because if you're still dating someone, you can have kids with them. Now, if they're your kids, then yes. But if they're not your kids and we're just casually dating here and there, no. I need you to get a separate bill.
Get a separate bill. Because you know that's going to be like, our bill probably, what's I'm gonna say that one. Let's just say hypothetically the bill is $75. Now, you gonna spend a minimum of $50. Let's just say $50 gone. You're gonna spend at least $50. Drinks might go exchange. Drinks, maybe dessert. Dessert probably gonna be like $10. So let's just say drinks, dessert. Let's just say max anywhere between $50 to $75. So I done spent $50 to $75 on you first day. Some people like a little bit more. Might be Ruth Chris or something. For a first day, might be 100, 150 on the first day. So then you order 2-3 more meals.
Right.
About 25 a pop. That's an extra 75. So I'm gonna pay 125. I'm paying 150 on the first date for you and your kid.
Right.
Like, it's women that do that.
Yeah, it is.
It's women. So the question goes then: How much are we really investing into the relationship by giving somebody a clean slate?
Right.
Like, they got a clean slate. When we first start off or whatever with these people, they need a clean slate. They don't need nothing held against them, and vice versa. Because you can't be giving this person a clean slate if they got chips stacked against them based on how much money they got and what they're gonna do for you.
Right.
Like, our relationship shouldn't be based on what I do for you, and it ain't even been a couple of hours yet.
Right.
It ain't even been like nothing to because how do you don't know? We had a conversation before. How do you know I'm mentally there on this situation? Like, there's times certain things that happen and my mind is thinking about all this other stuff that we got going on, like boom, 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 and I'm not even mentally there. And you done put me in a situation and then graded me an F on it because I wasn't mentally there.
Yeah. So just to go back, like, the person that posted this, he did an open discussion and was like, are black women too goofy enough for a relationship? Because if you ask me, the answer is yes.
Oof.
So what do you mean, like, goofy? Like that? Yeah, he probably should have used some
word.
Different.
He could have used a different word.
Yeah. So someone was like, we can't win. First, we too independent. Now black women are too dependent, as if other races don't think like this. And then somebody said the kid should not be at the first date. That's weird.
It is.
She was, and he was like, well, she was using the homie for food. So the kid was with them, or I thought she just asked.
No, well, did he take the kid with them to go get McDonald's, and then was probably gonna drop him off or something like that? Maybe. I don't know. It's not descriptive enough.
Yeah, because it sounds like they're saying the kid was there.
It looked like it was a podcast too. They was doing. I want to go listen to it.
And he was saying that in her mind, it wasn't a date. She was just using him for food.
Oh, that's even worse then.
So somebody said, for one, this woman is. Oh no, I don't want to read that. So this person said, well, to begin with, she already has her priorities effed up. She knows nothing of time management. Why is food not already in the house? What I said. But you're ready for a date. Exactly. Oh, she's a slum. I don't know if she's a slum, but let's be clear. This is not a black woman issue. It's a slack female issue.
Interesting.
That man you met off of whatever app in your phone is not responsible for your offspring in any way, shape, or form. She's clearly used to mismanaging her kitty. Then you feed your child nuggets and a shake from McDonald's of all places. Girl, bye. So, I mean, a lot of points was made in that because I did say, like, what was you rushing? Was this a Friday's date? Right. Like, why your home was not taken care of?
Even when we go out, even when we take our vacation, we go to Miami, we go back and forth to Florida. The house taken care of. Should nobody need nothing while we gone? You know, I have my mom living with us. I make sure my mom's medication is all up to date. Food that she have, her sugar that she be craving, everything all up to date. Nobody shouldn't need nothing while we gone. Like your house, you always gotta keep your house in order.
Right. Somebody said the dude should pay unless she was acting stank or bougie and she gave dude problems.
Now, do you think that
somebody said it's how she went about it?
Right. Like, you know how somebody could ask you something like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like, you know how people be like, "Can you run me to the stove?" Like, I don't feel like it, but I will. Mm-hmm. Like, could you run my baby over here get something to eat? It's only gonna take a minute. Oh, it ain't, but I will.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how you do something and you don't really want to do it. Mm-hmm. You be like, nah, alright.
Yeah, it was the whole expecting thing for me. She expected, you know, him to pay for it and still continue to take her on a date and pay for that meal too. And he kind of just was like, nah, you got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
you got it, shawty. You alright?
I mean, he was gonna sleep with him after your date if he didn't bought your baby a McDonald's meal?
Right.
Like, I don't know how we got to you. Now he can't have any sex. You knew right then and there he wasn't going to get any sex from you.
And then why sex is already on the table?
Right.
Like, well, it is a thing that women says that when a woman meets a man, they know within the first 5 minutes they're going to have sex with him. Do you think that's true?
It could be, yeah. I mean, I don't know about the first 5 minutes, but...
How you doing? My name is Johnny. It's been a pleasure to meet you. I see you here with your friends. Do you usually dress like this on these occasions? Oh, you do? Oh, okay. You look nice. You got your little jewelry on, got your little interstate shirt on and everything. Your lipstick is popping and everything. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So.
No, I'm not gonna have sex with you.
Oh, what? Oh, hell no. I can't get me none. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Do women no, I'm gonna say that topic. I'm gonna say it. I gotta go. But so just think that. Let's go back to that. What if she thought she was gonna have sex with him because on how she met him?
Yeah.
And he turned her off
by not buying her.
Like he pulled salt in that little wound. Like, nah, you ain't getting none of this.
And he may not be the guy for you then. You know, if you looking for somebody to come pick you up on your first date and still splurge on you and your baby, then obviously that guy wasn't the guy for you because he didn't fall for it. Now, a lot of men may say, oh, she just trying to see who she can use or what she can get out of him. That may be her lifestyle. This may be something she does on a regular, and the last person might have bought that Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably something that she's used to as well. So. Yeah.
And it doesn't put her in the bad. I don't want to give her the bad light that she didn't do this and this and that. Right. I'm giving different perspectives on being open-minded on how to look at it. So even let's just look at the guy. The guy could have gave off a bad vibe that he would do that. Mm-hmm. You know how some certain dudes, they be like, oh, I got it. I'll pay for it. You want a drink? I'll buy you and your girl's drink. You know what I'm saying? But it come down to that, right. He might be fronting. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or the guy might be like, oh, yeah, I'll let you drive my car. You can get, how some dudes be really tricking. Like, they just go all the way off on the deep end. And, he probably painted a bigger and a better facade picture of who he was. And, you know what I'm saying? He gave off the wrong energy, and it came back to bite him. So it could have been that, too. And she could have been just so simple as running late. She wasn't thinking. And that's what it was. But I want to be open-minded. I don't like to take situation as this is what has happened, this is it. And it's like it's other parameters that go with it. Just like when people call and give us advice, what else is going on here? Like with everything, I like to be open-minded. Like, let it swirl around for a minute. Let me look at it in a way, because I know some men, they hold on to their dollars.
Right.
Like they hold on to the mugs with their life. Like some dude, it's offensive to talk about their money sometimes. Like they don't be wanting nobody to know how much they got coming in and going out.
Right. So, yeah. I just think that I don't know. Like there's a lot of unanswered questions behind this scenario. Probably should have probably listened to the whole thing instead of a snippet of it. But in any case, no, I don't think he's obligated to do it for her.
In
or
either
any
way,
other dude.
In any situation.
Yeah.
No, I don't think no person is obligated to do anything for you or your child. Mm-hmm. And you wanting to have sex with me shouldn't have been a defining factor based on that.
Right.
You should have looked at it as an opportunity. What if I'm going through something, and I scraped up whatever I'm going, and I can have a lot, because a lot of people that got a lot of money, they got a good job and got a lot of money coming in, but they don't know how to manage it going out. Right. So he probably wasn't managing how he got it going out, and probably scraping up for this date.
Right. How you know I didn't borrow this money to take you on a date? Yeah. So asking me to buy her some food is gonna take away the money I do have to take you on a date.
I already ain't got no gas to put in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And
some people probably say, well, why are you even going on a date with somebody like that? Because you don't know people's situation.
Right. You don't know their situation. You don't know what they're going through. Yeah. You don't know.
Just because you found them on a dating app or social media, you know how many people is living a lie on social media? You know what I'm saying? So you don't know that person's situation. We're saying, what if that was his situation?
Yeah, what if his situation didn't adhere to your situation?
He might be in between blessings.
Yeah. Ooh.
And what you see on Instagram is him flogging and posting all this and all this and all that. You know, anybody can be anything they want to be on social media. They can be a millionaire if that's what they want to be, but in real life, are they struggling?
Yeah, be open-minded to people when you go on a first date. Everything may not be all what it seems. If you already gave a person a chance to have a date with you, give them a chance to see what else is going on, to see if this happened. Why did this happen? Like if a person pull up and to go on the first date, and you allow them to come to your house, they have this type of car. I like to see why this person chose this car. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if a person pick a Cadillac, you know, it's crazy as it may sound, some people like the car that their parents get. Like when they was young, their father had a Cadillac and this and that, and this and that. So once he got some money, he was gonna get a Cadillac like his daddy, whether he can afford it or not. Is everybody paying attention? He gonna get one like his daddy, whether he can afford it or not. She gonna get a car like her favorite auntie, whether she can afford it or not. All these people, we you know, or we gonna. It don't even have to be. I'm using a car because that's what the guy came up in. It could be something else. It could be his clothes. He probably wearing expensive clothes, whether he can afford it or not. It could be his issues. You know, he had his issues, whether he could afford it or not. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be open-minded to whatever that person got going on. Be open-minded to whatever happens in this situation, because there's probably more to it than that. And see how you can add to them as a person, as opposed to, you know, what you think you can get out of the relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it.
And don't let that foul you, whether you're going to continue to get to know, because he could turn out to be your husband, you know, somebody you've been praying for. So don't let that first mishap, I guess, build the rest of the date, or how the rest of the date is going to go. Because I'm sure it didn't go well at that point.
Because she already had her mind made up. Yeah,
she already had her mind made up. So at this point, she was just there for a meal, and she was going to go back home. Yeah. So you can't put your guards up just because that didn't go like he didn't say, hey, I'm gonna take you on a date, and yeah, I'm gonna stop and get your child something to eat too. I see you got a child. He didn't pull up expecting to do that. You know, that was something just sprung on him at the moment.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you should have. I think if she would have just like, hey, gave her money, I think maybe he'd have been like, no, I got it.
Right.
But when they pulled up and she was looking at him and he was looking at her,
Like what?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think he was like, nah, I ain't paying for nothing. But in a pose, you should have just had your card out or whatever you had, cash, and just gave it to him. And if he'd have paid for it, cool. If not, that's fine too.
Yeah, you don't put nobody in a situation that you gonna hold them against. It's too new for you to hold it against them in a new situation, and you don't even know him. You don't know what they got going on. You don't know who he is as a person. You don't know if he taking care of family members, his mother or whatever, or his father or whatever. You don't know nobody's personal situation, and don't put him in a situation to hold it against him, because now you can justify not giving him none like you thought, like it was a good idea anyway. So I want to end it on what the dude said at the end. He was like, follow us on social media so you can get this clip. You can get the reposting of the clip. One of the dudes was like, oh, that ain't nothing, because my boss sometimes will pay for my kid's little birthday party. Yeah, and because one of the other girls was saying it, and he was like,
she was saying that if her boss knew that she was giving her child a birthday party, her boss was like, oh, I'm gonna send a sleepover. I'm gonna send a pizza over there.
And he said that's how people be fucking their bosses,
right?
And so
people they work with,
which is true. He's like, he's white. He's white, and he's old, and he was like, he wants some young pussy, which is true. Women don't see things. We talked about this before. Women don't see things the way men see things. And then he said, I want to end it on this one. What he said? He said, fuck your boss up. If he do. He said, fuck him up, man. We're going to put the clip up when we do this. Just follow us to know which episode it is. But we're going to put this up. Subscribe, like our YouTube page, comment on it. We opened up our comments. I didn't know what I was doing on the first one. We still learning this process. Follow us on social media.
I think you can only see the video format on YouTube. I don't know about Podbean. I know Apple Podcasts you can.
Okay.
I don't know.
We're gonna see.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. So we're gonna put it up on there. I don't think you can monetize off Apple Podcasts though. But the Dyson's Effect, Instagram.
Twitter,
Facebook. And if you have any questions, or
any topics you would like to discuss, you can email us at thedysoneffect@hotmail.com.
You're getting good, Grasshopper. You're getting good. Email us, comment, share, like, review. And we're going to end on that note. So, everybody, this is Dyson. I'm sorry. This is Johnny.
And this is Teresa.
And this is another episode of the
Dyson's Effect.
Peace, love, and blessings, y'all.